Hey guys, it's Ryder here. So a lot of big stuff came out of D23, and recently in the last few days, me and Bryce here, we have really been focusing on the movie portion of that. Moana, a lot of Disney big stuff, because of course it is, Disney's big convention, but, they're animated projects, they're live action projects. There's actually another live action thing for Disney I'm doing tomorrow, so there's a fair amount of a lot of big news like that. But something massive for me, I don't know about Bryce, but something big for me is always Disney Infinity. Now, I did the review for Disney Infinity 2.0 on my channel, and I did character reviews, so I will probably end up doing the 3.0 review when I pick that up. And it's actually really exciting because it's coming out almost a month earlier than it did last year, and it's supposed to come out in North America on August 30th. So my mind's just blown because, they're making 57 characters. 57, so only 28 of them have been released so far. My mind is blown. There are so many characters coming to Disney Infinity 3.0. I mean, of course, that focus is Star Wars, so there's so many Star Wars characters, but then there's all these Disney characters. They're doing Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, the original versions of them. They're doing Tron and Korra, all the Inside Out characters. Who else? They're Olaf. They're doing Olaf. I mean, yes, that's what I want, those guys. And then you have Marvel. So far, there's only been 2 Marvel ones announced, which makes me kind of sad. But then I hear that there's going to be 58 characters, and there's only been, 28 of them released. I have a feeling we will be seeing a lot of Marvel characters. The next one being released will probably be Ant-Man. We got that teaser poster. But, we're getting Hulkbuster and Ultron. So excited for them. But, yeah, I'm going to talk about the stuff we got out of D23. But, overall, it's like, yeah, this game sounds like it's just going to be great, and I think right now I'm going to have to go ahead and start with the Star Wars characters that have, that were new and talked about, so because that's the main focus. So yeah, the starter pack comes with Ahsoka, and, from the Clone Wars, and then Anakin Skywalker, so you probably thinking, at least I was, it's a very interesting choice they chose to put in the starter pack. I would have assumed maybe Luke and Leia, or Han and Leia, or something like that. So, it was very interesting for me in that kind of sense. But I guess they wanted to start off, probably releasing like the prequel starter pack because that's episodes 1 through 3. So yeah, but that's I'm excited for it a lot. That I've always been excited for that. I kind of always saw them going the way of, the direction of Star Wars for, 3.0. So that's a lot of fun. But something I always wondered was, is Disney going in, Interactive Studios or whoever they're working with to make this game, are they going to go ahead and do Episode 7? That's a playset for Episode 7. And, to my delight, I think it was a few months back that we actually got that confirmation. So, they've got Twilight of the Republic, and I actually can't remember what they're calling the other one, but they're doing the Episode 7 starter pack. So, or not starter pack, just, playset. So, I'm actually really curious as to what's inside of that. Now, of course, it's going to mimic some of what Episode 7 actually turns out to be, but I'm like, it's very, very interesting, because I think, the next big Star Wars game is Star Wars Battlefront, and I think that comes out in November, so that comes out before the movie. So there's no way they can incorporate any Episode 7 elements in there. So that's what's kind of big for me, is that, in this, 10-month time period, Disney is going to incorporate, Episode 7 elements into its own playset. So that was pretty fun. And then we got the 2 character reveals, and that is Finn, who we don't know his last name yet, but he was kind of just revealed to, be a Jedi, or become, starting on the path to becoming a Jedi. And he is one of like the new. He's always thought to be one of. But yeah, he's gonna be a lot of fun. I already like the look of this character, and I'm actually really excited for him. But he was like I don't know, thought to either be maybe the new Luke Skywalker originally, but now it's like people are thinking Rey is going to be the new Luke Skywalker. So it's like there's a lot of confusion as to who is who and what will be what in Episode 7. But the other big character we're getting is, of course, Rey. Now, that's pretty fun. I'm expecting them to release a Poe Dameron figure, who is going, character. He is like supposedly the new Han Solo, or going to sort of fit that kind of role. He's obviously being played by Oscar Isaac, and he's a lot of fun. He's also playing Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse, so he's a great guy. So, I'm looking forward to seeing the new guys. I'd really love for them to release a Kylo Ren figure or even Captain Phasma. Seriously, like, those are my two highly anticipated villains for, this Episode 7. So I'm really excited about that. So really looking forward to those two characters. That was that big reveal. Next, let's move into the Disney characters. Now, we know that Disney will be releasing more and more and more, but the new ones that we've gotten so far, the new, big release ones, are Spot from the Good Dinosaurs. So, yeah, that movie still has not come out yet. It's coming out around Thanksgiving in November. But I was actually really surprised that they are doing that because, they are doing the five main characters from Inside Out. And I was thinking, whoa, that's really crazy. They announced that they were doing that before the movie even came out. So the fact that they are already saying that they're already committed to a Spot figure, he's going to be the little caveman guy from the Good Dinosaur. The fact that they're committing to him, and they also announced the two of the main characters from the new Disney movie that will be coming out this coming March, Zootopia. They are basically saying, Disney is basically coming out and saying, we have confidence that The Good Dinosaur and Zootopia are actually going to be hits, or they're actually going to be really good, or something along those lines, very different from how Fox was hiding the Fantastic Four movie from critics. So I think number one, I think it was a really wise, it's a smart decision for Disney to be like, we have this, or we have confidence in this, these two projects, so we're going to announce toys and big video game figures for them, but at the same time, if these movies are bad, or they flop, or whatever, that might not be Disney might be out a lot of money for, distributing all these figures or characters, and that people might not end up liking, so it's all a big, what if, and I think it's going to end up working out for everyone overall, but it's still a big, deal. And now, finally moving on to the final big thing, and that is Marvel. Now, the big Marvel playset, because Disney Infinity they said they would be doing a Marvel playset for, a new Marvel playset for 3.0, and that was a big question mark for me, and I think for everybody in general. Now, I was expecting maybe some, combo world thing where we saw, chunk of this Earth was, the Avengers and Ultron or whatever, and then another chunk of it was the Guardians of the Galaxy or Xandar or something like that, and then the third was, connected, Avengers City connected to Spider-Man, and it would all be one big, thing like that, or it could have been, the moon or something, or it could have been Wakanda, or it could have been the Avengers Mansion, or something like that. I don't know, but they completely surprised me, and they completely surprised everybody else by announcing the Marvel Battlegrounds playset. Now, as soon as I think of Battlegrounds and Marvel, immediately Secret Wars or Battle Worlds popped into mind. That was, one of the new spin-off comics from the Secret Wars story. And, the Battle World, it was like this completely, changed up universe and world where, you know, these characters either had to fight each other or they had to fight against some crazy being, or there was multiple versions of this of a same character, like for example Ghost Rider, and he had that big Ghost Racer story which is still going on, and there's just a lot of that. So I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. And from the trailer we actually got for Hulkbuster and Ultron, I immediately got really excited by looking at just not just the figures themselves, but the background and setting they were fighting in. Now, something that it seems like they are adapting from Contest of Champions is the fact that these figures and heroes will be able to somewhat fight against each other whenever they feel like it in a playset. So that's going to be interesting. So that's something that's pretty new, and I'm kind of really excited for. So I'll have to see how that goes. The background itself looks amazing. The playset, it looks like a Battleworld. It's got this purple sky, and there's all these destroyed buildings and all these fun things here and there, and it's going to be awesome. So I don't exactly know what the plot of that playset will be. It might just be so figures can fight each other, and that's going to be how that is, and I'm excited for that. But, you know, maybe there will be an ultimate overall story like some of the Incredibles playsets, or the Pirates of the Caribbean, or even the Avengers, or Spider-Man, or Guardians of the Galaxy. So we'll have to see how that goes. As for future figures, I'm expecting Ant-Man, like I said, because we got that poster of Hulk, saying, Hulk holding out his hand, and there was some little ant thing or something, like some dot that everyone was looking at, all these other superheroes crowding around Hulk. And then in words underneath that it said, something big is coming to Disney Infinity 3.0. And obviously that was referring to something big being Ant-Man. So, like a pun. So, I'm really excited for Ant-Man. Now, they did do that, like, team-up disc for 2.0, but it's going to be awesome to get a figure of him. I'm expecting Vision. Vision is going to be awesome as well. Age of Ultron, I feel like he was probably the biggest breakout star, even bigger than, biggest breakout hero, even bigger than Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, I'd probably expect to see maybe a Winter Soldier figure. That could be a lot of fun. We could see War Machine. I don't know. Maybe Scarlet Witch. Maybe even Daredevil could be fun. I'd definitely buy Daredevil figures. So not really sure how they're going to go about that. They might try to mimic the movies. It could be cool if in the Battle World, it's like a Civil War itself. Maybe we see a Black Panther figure. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I'm really excited for all of this. And the biggest thing also wanted to say about the Battleworld playset is that there can be 4 players in this Battleworld, or in this playset. I don't know how they're going to make it work. You're probably going to have, or you'll be able to use your 2.0 portal and your 3.0 portal. You'll plug it into your Xbox or PS4 or Xbox One or 360 or whatever you have, and you'll be able to place down 4 characters at once. I don't know how that screen is going to look. That's going to be kind of crazy, but I'm expecting maybe something like Super Smash Brothers or Brawlers. So I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun, but let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about all of this, and how excited are you for Disney Infinity 3.0. I'm Ryder, and thanks for watching.